Hello, I'm Lawrence Beldon Smythe, proud Englishman. If I'm so proud, why am I in the United States, you ask? Well, my mother asked the same question, and I'll tell you what I told her. Shut up and make my tea. Only joking. I told her I'm here to find out what makes Americans tick. Americans are very fond of strange sporting events. For example, one form of motor racing called Nascar is very popular and involves no right-hand turns. So I came to North Carolina to learn more. My search for the truth took me to something called a pit stop. Doesn't look that hard. It took me into the beating heart of a large collection of people known as the Nascar Nation. And it took me into a racing car and onto a track so I could learn more and try not to die. So start your engines, gentlemen and ladies, because my name is Lawrence, and this is America.
I'll pack my favorite trousers, my toothbrush and my comb, 'cause America is calling me.
North Carolina is the spiritual home of this motor racing phenomenon. It's a southern state known for, motor racing and being better than South Carolina. The outskirts of the city of Charlotte are smothered with race teams. Why is NASCAR unique? Well, these brightly painted vehicles drive in giant circles. No right turns for Americans, at least when it comes to the racetrack. Before delving into the specifics, any soon-to-be award-winning journalist starts with the basics. The word NASCAR is not actually a word, rather an acronym. So what does NASCAR stand for?
National American Association of Stock Car Racing.
That would be NASCAR.
National Stock Car. What is it? National Stock Car Racing. Yeah.
National Autos. I don't know, to be honest with you.
You got me on that one.
National Association of Sports Car of America.
I have no idea. You got me.
What does NASCAR stand for?
National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing.
I guess that's what it stands for. To learn more, I gained exclusive access into one of NASCAR's biggest race teams. Judging by their fancy sign, anyway. Hello.
How's it going?
Hi, I'm Lawrence.
David Ragan. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, David.
You here to check out some things about Roush Fenway?
Sure, yeah. Now, what do you do?
Well, if you look through those glass doors there, I drive the number 6, the AAA car out here. I don't know if
you're a racing car driver?
A racing car. You want to step over here and check them out?
Sure. He may look like a teenager, but David Ragan wasn't lying. He's a racing car driver. And his workplace resembles a giant toy car showroom. Everywhere you look, there are fancy cars in various stages of deconstruction. There's an incredible smell here. What is that?
I think it's just a combination of, of brakes being put together and maybe some welding taking place. You've got a paint room just through there, so you might be getting a few fumes from the paint room.
Getting a little high here.
Yeah, but that might
a good buzz, though.
That might be why everyone loves to work such long hours.
And these vehicles are unlike regular motor cars. No headlights, no air conditioning, not even a cassette player. And to top it all, no doors. Apparently all of this has something to do with weight and aerodynamics. To further investigate, it was time to venture inside this excessively challenged vehicle. Hold on. Oh, there we go. It's a little cramped in here. NASCAR drivers like to have the steering wheel almost pressing into their chest. Something about it being comfortable in a long race. No air conditioning, no music, no cup holders, and no freedom. This car flies in the face of everything Americans hold dear.
Well, you want to see if you can get out?
Sure.
In an orderly manner.
In an orderly manner? If getting in was tough, surely exiting would be easier, especially after David informed me these cars have a tendency to catch fire. I just heard something snap. The Beldon Smythes are known for their graceful movement. My great-grandmother was a free-form interpretive dancer. She would have called this the Gosling. I'm out. As we toured the facility with its impressively clean floors, I discovered there's a person for every job here, from painting the cars subtle colors to lying underneath them for some reason. My investigation also revealed this is most definitely a team sport. Each driver comes equipped with a car and a gang of burly chaps who practice something called pit stops out the back of the complex. During this hurricane of humanity, which looks like a bizarre dance recital, Great Granny would be proud, the motor vehicle is given a complete service. Yes, that's right. I now have conclusive proof my mechanic in London is lying. Tyre changes take 12 seconds if you're serious. Not 2 days, Nigel, not 2 days.
If we have good pit stops, we can win this race.
This gang, or crew, as they're called, have a coach who kindly offered to show me the ropes just as soon as I put on his uniform, which only comes in one size, gigantic.
All right, now slide your jack underneath. You're gonna check it.
And that's...
Just like that. Now hold it. There you go. Check it.
That's checked now.
Right, now it's checked. Now you're just gonna come back here on the back side of the handle.
And push
up,
down.
Jump up and push down.
The 3,400-pound car is just gonna go whoop.
Right, but keep your handle coming this way. Okay, there you go.
This task must usually be performed by a retired sumo wrestler or circus elephant.
Bloody car.
Once the car is dangling in the air, the tyres have to come off, with help from a fiendishly noisy air-fueled device.
Okay, here we go. There you go. There you go. You're good.
I got him. Practice is one thing, true skill is revealed in the heat of battle, or in this case, the heat of practice.
Ready, set, go. All right, put your gun down, put your gun down. Now pull your tire off.
Oh, it's heavy.
Not bad.
How do we do?
17 seconds.
I'm a wordsmith, not a tyre jockey. You do better, I dare you.
Sorry, David.
I don't think he's going to win the
We're
race.
not going to be
this
taking the
weekend.
cup home this weekend.
Anyway, for fans of this sport, watching grown men change tyres quickly is a highlight. Who are these fans? I plunge my scalpel of truth into the heart of NASCAR country next. I'm on the outskirts of Charlotte, North Carolina, looking at the uniquely American culture that surrounds a motor racing series called NASCAR. I came to Charlotte the week of a big race at the local speedway. When approaching the motor stadium, one must pass a seemingly endless sea of large, mobile hotel rooms. It resembles a refugee camp for the wealthy, minus the starvation and flies. Americans call these vehicles RVs, which in this place obviously stands for required vehicle. There's an RV for every economic class, as it appears, and within every one lies the objective of this safari, the NASCAR fan.
Now, what kind of stuff do you need for a trip like this?
Food, place to sleep, and beer.
It should be noted, fans of this sport are very welcoming, at least to curious Englishmen. Once trust is established, they expose their underbellies like the neighborhood moggy.
Oh, my goodness, this is enormous. What are we having for dinner tonight?
Tonight we're having barbecued pork chops.
It should be noted, people drive these mighty beasts hundreds of miles so they can watch other people drive hundreds of miles. But not everyone opts for a life of luxury. My investigation revealed these gentlemen who prefer a simpler life.
Like 4 or 5 days of relaxation. Have you ever had that?
4 or 5 days of
relaxation.
Relaxation.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You know, you just get away from work, call it a day. See? Ever heard that?
Not quite the way you describe it, no.
Well, then you ought to.
So what are we making for lunch today?
Barbecued chicken and baked beans.
Wow, and this is quite ingenious. You just put the tin of beans on the grill and you're just cooking it like that.
Yeah, it keeps you from getting the part out.
Resisting offers to drink until I fell down, I moved on to another aspect of this NASCAR culture, driver autographs. This crowd is gathered at Roush Fenway Racing to obtain the signature of a driver known in the sport as Carl Edwards. drivers in this game attract a degree of fan fanaticism that can be simply described as fantastic.
And how long have you been here?
Since 11 o'clock last night.
I got here at 3:30 this morning.
3:30 this morning?
Yeah.
What do you like about these drivers?
They drive really fast and they're really cute.
You love Carl Edwards?
Yes.
You a big NASCAR fan?
He's my favorite driver.
Really? Why is that?
Because he's the best. He's the nicest. Right, Kim? Kim?
He is
Yeah.
the
He is the nicest.
He's the nicest. He's the nicest.
Yes.
How was it in the...
Oh, terrific. He remembered me, of course, because I write to him every week.
It appears obtaining the signature is only one piece of the fan puzzle. Getting that signature on different objects presents the real challenge.
So what have you brought to get autographed today?
A right front wheel tire.
Do you know where this tire came from?
It came from Carl Edwards.
How did you get hold of it?
My dad knows some people.
So what did you have signed, sir?
I had the rear clip of Carl Edwards' car, the Office Depot car.
Didn't he recognize this was from his car?
Yes, he did.
Saying, what the hell are you doing with that?
Yes, he would
It's
like
from
it
my
back.
car?
Yes.
If someone had appeared with a piece of your car and said, would you mind signing this for me, what would you think?
My car, I would let him have it. Yeah.
What are you going to have them sign? What have you
This is
brought?
my picture of Carl Edwards, and then I have the Pit Road Pets book. It's got the NASCAR drivers and their animals.
And their animals?
Yes.
Now, you bought a little toy car. Is that for your son?
No, that's for me. That's for me. That's my collector. We collect them.
You do?
Mm-hmm. And then you put them in a display shelf, and so.
Is that a suitable thing for a grown man to be doing?
I guess, yeah. I've got to have one hobby.
So what was it like meeting Carl Edwards?
Oh, it was, what?
Did you get his autograph?
Are you here for an autograph? Is that what you want?
This gentleman was confused because, as it happens, he is the driver, Carl Edwards, the fans came to see. He looked shorter on the internet.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever had to sign?
Oh, man. Okay, the weirdest thing really is I was up at a table, and this guy throws his leg up on the table. I couldn't figure out how he got his leg up that high, but it was actually a prosthetic leg. He took it off and set it on the table, and that's what I signed. It was crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so this is to Lawrence.
To Lawrence, yes.
All right.
I met Carl Edwards.
Our friend David Ragan doesn't yet attract the same fan fervour at his events, although he does have his supporters.
So what brings you to the David Ragan autograph signing today? Are you a fan?
Oh, sure. I'm probably one of his biggest fans.
Why are you his biggest fan?
I've been with him the longest. He's my son.
Oh, you're David's mother?
Yes.
All right. Does it ever worry you when he's hurtling around the track at 200 miles an hour?
Of course, as a mom, it would, as with any sport, but I know that he's doing everything possible to be safe. He has very good equipment, and he's got a great team around him.
I'm a celebrity, too. I'd be happy to sign autographs as well. No, I have my own TV show.
Global journalism is an acquired taste, clearly not yet acquired by North Carolina. Wallowing in this fan love provoked a question that demanded an answer. Is this driving thing really that hard, or could any trained monkey or globe-trotting journalist do it? To find out, I challenged David Ragan to a man-on-man contest, as we couldn't find any monkeys. The results will be revealed next. So far in my foray into the centre of what's called NASCAR country, I've seen some brightly coloured cars on an oval track, explored the impossibly clean workshop of a major race team, and tried very hard to figure out why fans are so remarkably passionate about this sport. I haven't yet reached a conclusion on that one. But what I haven't done is slip behind the wheel to discover what motor racing feels like from the inside. After attending a David Ragan autograph signing, he's the man-child behind the table, I issued a challenge to see if being a driver meant more than looking good in a sponsor's shirt. Okay, so these things aren't actual race cars. They're something called go-karts. But I can confirm they still go fast and offer a world-class journalist the chance to show an aspiring champion how real driving is done. I jumped to an early lead, and for a while I was poised to thrash a professional at his own game.
He's bumping me!
As the laps wound down, the fierce battle heated up. Ragan clearly began worrying about his future, and I began dreaming of burnt rubber, engine oil, and scantily clad women handing me expensive-looking trophies in front of adoring fans who wanted me to sign their wooden legs, bumper bars, and grandmothers.
Come back!
But alas, with one lap to go, David Ragan must have cheated in some way because he got around me. I didn't need this week's wages anyway. After my near success on the go-kart track, I nearly had Ragan at turn 4. It became obvious that the next step in my truth quest would be driving in a real race. Unfortunately, nobody seems willing to let me drive in one of the events this weekend. Something to do with training, experience, and lack of talent. In fact, my repeated requests have resulted only in this piece of paper, which Americans refer to as a restraining order. But never fear, I found a race that will let me enter in Wichita, Kansas, and I'm told that that track leaves this place in the dirt. So, let's go racing! The 81 Speedway in Wichita, Kansas turned out to be a little, well, smaller than the Charlotte Stadium, and the only thing it leaves in the dirt is the track, which actually is dirt. Didn't matter. They'd graciously offered to let this worldly reporter drive a real car in a real race with very little training, practice, or skill. The American spirit of adventure is alive and well in Kansas. My full immersion into the dusty and quite possibly death-defying world of stock car racing will be completed next. When travelling the world uncovering truths, it's important to get one's hands dirty as often as possible, which is why I'm in Wichita, Kansas, dressed in a snazzy outfit known as a fire suit, preparing to risk death and my career driving in a dirt track car race. I'm trying to fully understand the appeal of an American institution known as Nascar. Technically, the cars racing in Kansas are not NASCAR cars, but they have 4 wheels, engines, drivers, passionate fans, and a very good chance of killing this reporter. So, who cares about the details? A brave local teenager named Dan Powers graciously volunteered to loan me his car for my first foray into driving. It's called a Mustang, I believe, and it had been stripped of anything resembling comfortable accessories.
Tighten these first. Pull them down.
The tighter it is, the more Mummy loves you.
I was encouraged to drive some practice laps before my big event to get a feel for the car and track and reassure race organisers I wouldn't pose a threat to the other competitors. This was not as easy as go-kart racing with David Ragan. In fact, it was not easy at all. Imagine speeding on an ice rink. I had a little time between practice and potential racing tragedy, which allowed me to collect myself, write a will, and mingle with the locals who spend their nights and weekends building and racing these vehicles of terror.
Did you see me racing?
Yeah, I seen it.
How did I do?
You did all right. You get on the gas a little more and you'll be all right.
How was your first time?
Scary.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It is scary. It's not just me. It is scary.
Was you scared?
I was petrified.
I bet you
It was
was.
one of the scariest things I've ever done.
First time out there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. You look pretty good in it. But you're awful slow, though.
But before you could say life insurance policy, it was time for the big race. I started cautiously, lurking at the back of the field to size up my competition. After a few laps of not dying, it was time to make my move. I was pretty tight on turns 1 and 2, but the car was loose on turn 3. I have no idea what that means. Someone told me later that's how I looked. I know it's hard to tell from the pictures, but I actually passed the pink car. Yes, overcoming all obstacles, Lawrence Beldon Smythe did not finish last in his first professional car race. Nor did he die in a horrible flaming wreck. It's the custom here for cars, drivers and fans to mingle after the big event, which allowed this reporter to meet the professional driver who was lucky to escape with a close win over me.
You're the winner?
Yeah, I'm the winner, I guess. That's what they say.
I was racing you?
Yeah, you get, I guess. I don't know.
How old are you?
14.
Do you even have a driving license?
No.
You think he sounds confused? Track organisers also neglected to tell me I was racing with children. I believe the decision was made to provide these American youngsters with valuable international experience. And not because I wasn't good enough to drive with grown-ups. But this brief foray behind the wheel delivered valuable, if ego-deflating, insight. I came into NASCAR country with absolutely no idea what to expect. There are parts of the American population who regard this endeavor with disdain. After delving into the truth, I can now conclude those people are making a judgment based on insufficient information. There's no doubt this sport and the characters within it are unusual.
Hey, can you focus that right there? That's great.
Whether they're drivers and their muscly companions striving to race and change tires as quickly as possible, enthusiastic and incredibly loyal fans striving to get a signature on every random piece of equipment associated with the sport, or underage children hurtling around a mud-filled oval striving to humiliate an English journalist, all of them share a common bond. A love for this sport. If something provokes this much passion, pride and pleasure for so many people, it deserves acknowledgement and respect. I salute you, NASCAR, your obsessive fans, your sophisticated machinery and your charismatic drivers. With fierce determination and a never-say-die attitude, you've turned the seemingly ridiculous act of driving in a circle into a multi-billion-dollar sport. Until next time, reporting and revving from the heart of NASCAR, this is Beldon Smythe.